Hi guys, my name is Crystal. I've obviously got to get ready to go out to the doctors. It's raining, it's not nice weather. So Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 10:53 a.m.
So can I say that it's National Limerick Day? That's what Alexa's told me. So I've just penned a quick limerick. There was an old man from Wales who liked to tell tales. He said he was tall, but in fact he was small, and he was large and broke the scales. Right, that's just simple, that's just tiny, I've made that up off the cuff. But I used to write limericks down at Lansdowne Court. I spent so much time by myself and on my own that I used to write a load of poetry. I've got a load of poetry in All Poetry website, which is American. I've got over 200 poems on All Poetry, and I've also done a few limericks myself. And when I was alone at Lansdowne Court, I used to just sit and write poetry and write a diary because it kept my mind occupied and got all the negative feelings out of my system. I'm not actually writing a diary physically with a pen. I'm just like talking on vlogs so that if I need to, I can go back to it and see what's happened. So yeah, I've got to go to the doctors. I've got to collect a letter which has been written to go to Medway Council about how detrimental it is to my health living in this flat with what's been going on. And I'm just hopefully it will give the oomph and the push for the council to put me on a bidding website where I can get out of here. I've been trying for the past year and a half because of constant bullying, sexual and otherwise, and people spreading rumours apparently that I'm a prostitute, and I'm 54 years old and I'm certainly not a prostitute and never have been. I mean, I think it's stupid, I think it's silly, I think people need to grow up. People do talk to me like I'm a child, and I'm 54, and I find it annoying and disrespectful. I've got men of about 20 and 30 looking down at me like I'm a piece of scum shit, and it's not nice. When I'm a nice person, if they talk to me like a person, they would get talked to back like they were a person. But if someone is going to treat me like scum, I'm not going to be happy about it, am I? Right? So when I was coming back home, there was a guy coming out of the co-op with a box of cereal, 4 pints of milk in his hand and not in a bag. So, you know, it looks like people are running away from me because I'm starving and I'm hungry. And my mum said to me 2 days ago, don't steal anything, Genestra. And she calls me Genestra, she doesn't call me Crystal, so she says, don't steal anything. So now I've got people running away from me with items of food, clutching their handbags like they used to do with my father, because my mum said my dad was a thief and he went down her handbag and took money. I don't do that, I don't need to do that. I'm going to pay £40 in cash because I had a message from my doctors asking me for the money in cash. Not by card, they want it in cash. £40. The St Mary's Medical Centre in Strood. £40 is a lot for someone on benefits, but I need that letter. It was £20 about a year and a half ago. It's now jumped up to 40. So I better get a letter now before it, goes up to £100. For a few sentences on a computer, I think that's a bit extortionate. I'm going to have a read of it and see if it's worth £50 before I part with my money, to be honest. I think that's a bit extortionate for a few lines. I mean, I write letters and I don't charge people for them. It's awful. So I'm getting ready to go out to the doctors to collect this letter. I'm not going to stay out too long. The weather's bad, it's raining and it's not that warm. And I'm going to see if I can get hold of a fan. That's all I want is a fan, because it gets extremely hot for me. I'm going through the menopause and I'm getting hot flushes. and the weather is also warm, so at night it feels like I'm in a sauna, and I wake up in hot and cold sweats because I'll get all hot, dripping with sweat, and then I'll suddenly go all cold. And this happens throughout the night. This is when you go through the menopause, you see, a woman does. So I don't like being called a wanker, because a female that's not getting much sex, you think you call them a wanker, do you? A woman that's celibate, I don't think you call them a wanker. You might call them a nun, but I don't think you call them a wanker. So men shouting out wanker is not relevant to me. Now I'm going to get on with the rest of my day, and I'm fine with things how they are. I think when COVID happens, we were isolated. It's hard to get back into the swing of things, mixed with people, but we are thrust into each other, crowds again, when you go to concerts and things, and you're starting to get colds and infections as we mix and spread with each other again. I'm doing the right thing, I'm just keeping myself to myself. Someone said to me, don't mix with the neighbours, don't talk to the builders. Once you invite someone into your flat, they start going from one to the other, talking about each other, and then that's how arguments start. That's what I was told. And I haven't invited anyone back to my flat. I haven't. I think what starts as Chinese whisper, it starts as, oh, she's stuck up, and then it turns into she's a prostitute. I don't know how that happened. Right, it's raining quite badly. I've got to get my umbrella and my bits together, and I'll see you all later. Take care.